Feng Shui is about in your space, how does energy run? Now, this is kind of like your neck of the woods, right? Because all about Chinese medicine has to do with energy running clearly and well. Yeah? And Feng Shui is that science of like how, because it's not about, it's funny, when people think about traditional Chinese medicine, they think of it as like, herbs or maybe acupuncture. Sure. But it's all of it. I mean, the traditional Chinese, it was all about like, how does everything affect the energy flowing in that physical space? So whether it's your house, whether it's the earth, whether it's like the cosmos, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we want qi to flow freely and more balanced. Yeah, I know there's like some, 5-element feng shui as well, like pieces of wood, like, fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. You want to have aspects of all of that in your home. So they say. In certain areas. So it's kind of neat, like mirrors are like metal, have some mirrors, some like bowl of fruit would be like earth, flower. So all these little things you can add and just, it feels better, Yeah,
and a lot of people will be like, Feng Shui is BS. I'm like, no, actually it works. I actually studied Feng Shui for a while.
Oh, cool.
And so some of it has become like a little bit weird, like a little bit commercialized and a little bit like, honestly, like, putting a flute somewhere or whatever, it's become a little bit odd. It's become, a little overly commercialized. But in terms of the base of Feng Shui, which has to do with, like, again, how energy flows in a space and have it be balanced and feel good. So, for example, there's a principle in Feng Shui where it's like if you have 3 doorways in a row, it can cause energy or qi to move too fast through those doorways. And so if you're in a room at the end of those 3 doorways, it can create a lot of feeling of jitteriness or urgency or relationships get tense because it's too fast, right? The qi isn't like meandering like a stream slowly and like with flow, etc. It's like rocking down like a straight, rapid or something like this. So it's too fast. So if you can shift things with like a mirror or a crystal or something like this, it can, and what does crystal do? It amplifies, right? And it actually will take it's fascinating, crystals to me are fascinating. They can do so many things. They can start to disperse energy, right? So it doesn't feel so hard and fast. It can make it start to feel softer. Yeah. So now, what I say about Feng Shui is that it depends on who's doing it. Right? It's always about the practitioner. It's just like anything, right? An acupuncturist, a doctor, a healer, a musician. It doesn't matter what the art is.
If their energy or intention is skewed. It would affect
Yes, and not just their energy, but their frequency resonance. So how high their frequency resonance is absolutely will affect their ability to help you alter your space in a way that feels good to you. Because it's not just about like mental knowing, right? It's the combination of art and science, right? Just like what you do. It's not just like, okay, well, she's describing these symptoms, X, Y, Z, therefore I follow this formula. Not at all.
Then your treatment feels dead.
Yeah, exactly, because it's alive. Yeah. Because qi is moving. So to me, Feng Shui is an art as well as a science. And so how high resonating your practitioner is will have a very big influence on how your space will feel as they start to shift it for you. That's my feeling anyway.
That's good. That's helpful. So thank you. We went over a few, the ley lines, the dead, Feng Shui.
Yeah.
And, we may end up doing another episode to dive deeper into certain topics.
Yeah, and
this is good.
Yeah, and the one thing I also wanted to mention is there are spaces on the earth, and I don't know why this is, and houses sometimes are maybe erroneously put on them, that are portals. And portals will open you into different realms. Not all realms are desirable, right? Some realms are darker than others. And things can come in that aren't great from other realms. So, and it sounds like a Hollywood movie, what I'm saying, but I've seen them. And I've had to close them. So, and things literally stop. Like things haywire, like all this weird messed up stuff, like one thing after another. So, for example, clients of ours bought a home in San Francisco, and my abilities just started to come in. And everything started to go wrong. It's a very affluent neighborhood, very beautiful house, and things started to go wrong. Like their workers were, who were very good, we've used them many times before, kept finding things like their machinery would malfunction, or they would apply the wrong floor color stain. even though it was clear, and then have to do it again. Do you know what I mean? Like
yes.
like things like this, right? Like over and over again. And one day, this never happens in this neighborhood. The woman returned home and found a homeless person in her house because he'd broken in. And he wasn't doing anything; he was just hanging out. But she like scared the Jesus out of her, obviously.
Kind of chaotic thing. Yeah,
exactly. Things like this. But it was like thing after thing after thing after thing.
That's when you notice.
That's when you notice something is wrong. So they had a portal in their home into these dark realms, and it was just like all this negative, horrible things were happening. So once I closed it, it literally stopped. Literally stopped. They're like, I never told them what I was doing. I just did it.
Yeah.
And then later I was like, hey, how is your house now? Like, you used to have all that chaos. She's like, yeah, I don't know. That was just like a really weird period, but now everything's great. I love it.
You're like, weird period.
Yeah. So things like that can happen.
Yeah.
So as you said, we're just touching on the surface of many of these things, but it's helpful to know what these things are so that you can know how to address them.